Hello everybody and welcome to Shepples Reviews Deus Ex. Deus Ex is a first-person shooter with RPG elements created by Ion Storm and published by Eidos in 2000. The game takes place in the future where the world governments are slowly losing control over their countries and riots are happening worldwide. Along with this, there is a virus that has hit America known only as the Great Death, which has only been furthering the riots and terrorism within New York. UNATCO, a peacekeeping government-funded organisation, is attempting to help keep the peace during these hard times, and you are their latest augmented recruit, JC Denton. Along with yourself, there are other augmented agents within UNATCO, such as your brother Paul, Anna Navarra, and Gunther Herman, with the later two being of old mechanical augmentation. Your first assignment: stop the terrorists at Liberty Island and take their leader into custody. It is here that your journey as JC Denton begins, and a whole world of betrayals, secrets, conspiracies and decisions start to unfold. At the start of the game, you get to decide your appearance from a selection of a number of different options, what your character's real name is, and as JC Denton is the player's codename, and what skills you are trained in. The skills that you can train throughout the game are heavy weapons, pistols, rifles, demolition, low-tech, environmental training, computers, lockpicking, electronics, medical and swimming. Because each of the skills have their own purpose and all are useful to you in one form or another, with the exception of swimming. For the amount of time you actually spend swimming in the game, it is not worth investing skill points into the skill. Along with that, you can also find items throughout the game called rebreathers, which allows you to breathe underwater a certain length of time. You gain additional skill points throughout the game for various different achievements, such as completing primary and secondary objectives, progressing through certain points in the game, and exploration bonuses for exploring and finding certain locations and secrets. The points can then be spent on any skill of the player's choice at any time during the game through the skills screen. Along with the skill screen, there are various others, which include your physical screen that shows what parts of your body have been injured, and your current health rating. Each body part has a total of 100 points. You can also heal the damage done to certain body parts using medikits in this screen. Once, for example, one of your legs has reached 0, you won't be able to move as quickly, or if both reach 0, you won't be able to stand. If one of your arm reaches 0, you won't be as accurate with your weapons, and of course if your torso or head reach 0, you are dead. So you should always keep an eye on your body screen on the top left of the HUD. You also have your augmentation screen, which shows you the details of your augmentations, where you can install new augmentations upon finding augmentation canisters, and also upgrade them, and regenerating your bioelectrical energy, which is required to use your augmentations. You have your inventory screen, where you can carry your equipment, with each item taking up a certain amount of space in your inventory. Unlike in some games, your item limit is judged by the spaces in your inventory as opposed to by weight. Smaller items take up 1 square, while others take up more. For example, the sniper rifle takes up 4, the GEP gun or rocket launcher takes up 8, and so on and so forth. Then you have your goals and notes screen, which shows your current objectives, both primary and secondary, along with any notes and information of interest that you have found along your journey. There is a conversation screen, which you can look back on any conversation you have had with an NPC or any messages that come through your infolink. The infolink is a device implanted into your head that allows people to watch your every move through your eyes and contact you through it and send you images. There is an image screen for such images where you can view them at any time, and finally a log screen which shows you everything that has appeared in the log box at the middle top of the screen. One of the most unique things about Deus Ex is that at the start of the game you are not a killing machine in any shape or form. In reality, you are literally a new recruit straight out of training, and therefore not very good at any particular skill. This means that your accuracy with weapons will not be the best and may require timing when it comes to lining up your shots with enemies in the crosshair before being able to get a direct shot. This also applies to lockpicking and bypassing electrical systems. At first you won't be very good at it, and it may require multiple multi-tools and lockpicks to successfully pick locks and bypass security systems. The same pretty much applies for all skills. Medical allows you to heal more, environmental training allows you to use items for longer, such as armor and rebreathers and hazmat suits and so on. There's a nice selection of weapons to choose from as you progress through the game, such as combat knives, batons, swords, pistols, mini crossbows, sniper rifles, shotguns, assault rifles, rocket launchers and plasma rifles. Certain firearms also have variations of ammunition. For example, the mini crossbow has a tranquilizer dart, a normal dart and a flare dart. The shotgun has a 12 gauge shell and a sabot shell, and so on and so forth. You will also find on your travels various weapon mods which allow you to upgrade your weapons. These mods vary from accuracy increase, recoil decrease, range increase, laser sight, scope and silencer. Though certain weapons are not able to have laser sight, scope or silencer, the accuracy, recoil and range is available to increase any weapon. This gives you some great customization when it comes to your weapon loadout. As you progress through the game, you will find items called augmentation canisters, as I previously mentioned. These canisters hold 2 augmentations in each, which will fit into a specific augmentation slot. In total, there are a total of 10 different augmentation slots available. However, once you've chosen and installed an augmentation, it is permanent and cannot be changed. The various augmentations include night vision, spy drones, regeneration, aqua lung, increased strength, silent steps, and an impressive 20, leaving plenty of room for a complete different character setup in another playthrough. Each of your augmentations can be then upgraded a total of 3 times to a maximum of level 4, increasing their powers, but this is only possible with an upgrade canister. The game contains quite a heavy dialogue, which is a key factor to the telling of the amazing storyline in the game, along with getting an understanding of the primary characters throughout. However, the heavy dialogue within the game does not slow the game down to an extent that it pulls back the balancing of dialogue and combat. Instead, it is done perfectly where there is still a nice balance between the two. The voice acting in the game is a bit wooden, but nevertheless still really good, and there was a massive cast of voice actors involved in the game for both primary and miscellaneous NPCs throughout the game, and numerous different accents from travelling from location to location. There are also plenty of times during the dialogue where you get choices of different responses to NPCs, with each having a different response from the NPC, giving even more additional value to playing through the game a second time. There are 2 main factors about Deus Ex that has made it stand out from your standard first-person shooter. One of these factors is that you are never forced to go down one direct path. There is always more than one way to deal with any situation in the world of Deus Ex. There is always more than one way to get into a building, there is always more than one way of dealing with an enemy, and always more than one way to deal with any mission objective. Throughout the game you can play through going in guns blazing, or you can take the more stealthy approach, pick off enemies from a distance, or you can take a total pacifist and not kill many people at all, or you can mix it up in any shape or form. A similar example of this is with the security robots. You can destroy them with a rocket launcher or grenades, or disable them with EMP grenades or an EMP blast from a spy drone, or you can find the remote console to deactivate them and put them in standby mode, or simply find a way to avoid them completely. The same applies to certain doors and security cameras. It is a game where you can play any way that you want. The second factor is that the world truly feels alive. The NPCs interact with each other on the streets from time to time. Even if it is scripted, you can hack or log into people's computers where there are emails between them and other characters within the world. Often you will find emails from characters you are familiar with or have met or worked for in the past or at that time. They really give an insight into who the people are, and email can also sometimes give you a great insight into the story, adding in extra bits that you could have otherwise missed. It is these small things that give the game its world a living, breathing feeling to it, something that is missing from most games in this day and age. The soundtrack to the game is simply beautiful and fits in with each level setting perfectly, and was composed by various different composers, including the same talented composer that made the complete soundtrack for Unreal Return to Nepali, and Unreal Tournament, Michael Vandenbos. It won't be long before you find yourself humming along to the catchy yet fitting and atmospheric soundtrack that really brings this game to light even more. There are also lots of hidden secrets within the world. Some lead to extra lockpicks, multi-tools or ammunition and supplies, while others lead to more rewarding items such as augmentation canister or upgrade canisters and weapon mods. Searching every nook and cranny in the world of Deus Ex is rewarding, even if it is a bit time-consuming at times. You will also come across various characters whom will trade items with you for your money as you progress. Some characters sell ammunition or explosives, others weapon mods, armor and camouflage armor, and each have their own prices and each have their own little story. There are a total of 3 different endings to the game, which vary depending on what choices you make at the end of the game. A total of 3 people will give you different objectives to complete, and depending on what objectives you choose to complete will determine the ending. Each ending fits in ever so well with the game, which leaves it up to the player as to which ending they feel fits best. The best thing about the multiple endings is that you can simply save your game, get one ending, reload and get another, and so on, allowing for the player to experience all the endings without having to restart the game and having to play through it again in order to achieve them. Since its release, this game has received dozens of awards, leaving other titles of its time left in its shadow, and it has earned the right to being called one of the best games of all time, and arguably the best ever created. With full freedom of being given the ability to play as you wish to play, and to be given always multiple decisions to deal with each situation, is a blessing to players that no game has ever achieved since to the same extent. It's a world that feels like it's living and breathing, with dark secrets and conspiracies brewing in the background, and even having supposed real-life secret societies such as the Illuminati, Silhouette, Majestic 12 and the Templars, really bringing in an interesting and gripping tale. I have to give this game a 10 out of 10. It is everything you would want in a game. Good character customization, moral choices, multiple decisions and choices for everything, weapon customization, great story, great characters, good voice acting, great soundtrack, well written dialogue, and good old fashioned twists and much more. There really isn't anything more that a game could give to you than this, and if you haven't played it, what the hell are you waiting for? The game is available on GOG.com for a generous $9.99 US, which is not much considering you will most likely come back to this game time and time again like so many others have, and it will be a game that you will play from the very beginning to the end, having difficulty to put it down. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and have fun.